Go for it, Doc. It's all you.
Are we starting?
Yeah!
You said we were...
I said go!
Welcome to Strange Tales from Outer Space, episode 32. My name is Doc, and I help lead this, motley crew, the sad sack of saps.
Wow!
Every week we go through the news, and we bring you all cool Wildstar stuff. And with me this week, I have, as always, Indigo.
Yeah, I'm Indigo, and I'm copying Doc and wearing a stupid beanie.
Mine's for good reason. And Croog.
I'm Croog, and I'm really tired because I was dancing really crazily before we started doing this.
Some hype
fun.
shit,
It was just like the music was like bam, 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 and I was like, it's great.
We're just letting the beat drop.
Oh, God.
So I'm not gonna say very much because I'm gonna be out of breath for a whole hour. So have fun talking.
Okay, well, Indigo, since he's recovering, since he has apparently no cardio in his life, how was your week last week?
My week was great. I did some pretty awesome stuff during the week, and by pretty awesome stuff, I mean I didn't do much of anything. During the week, I did a couple ship hands, some veteran ship hands, which was really great because I just hopped in, set up for a group, and boom, I was in. It was awesome. That was pretty much all I did during the week for the game. I mean, I played my Stalker a little bit, played my Warrior a little bit. But on Friday, I went and saw Kingsman, which, awesome movie. Awesome.
So badly.
Oh, it's so good. You have to see it. And then I'm here with you, Motley. I guess Motley Crew is the thing this week. So, yeah, that's my week.
Nice. Hey, look at that. We have the ever-elusive Bazille in our chat tonight.
Oh, God.
We have two very special guests that are going to join us afterwards as well, and we'll get to them towards the end of the podcast. But, Croog, how was your week last week?
My week was wonderful. I went to my girlfriend's school and visited her for the Valentine's Days, which was really fun. Yeah, it did.
Did it?
So, I have a public service announcement for the community. We went and saw 50 Shades of Grey, and it was awesome. Like, literally, best cinematography out of any... Okay, no, that's horseshit. First of all, there's no plot to that movie. It's literally like, hey, you want a bone? Yes. And then the middle part, and by the middle part, I mean, like, the first 5 minutes and the last 10 minutes are the only parts that aren't in the middle part, is just them boning. And then at the end, it's like, let's stop. And then that's it. There's no climax. There's no plot. There's no conflict. There's nothing. The movie has zero things. And what she said... First of all, she wanted to apologize to the community for making me go to that movie as a whole. I get to pick the next 5 movies.
If she's listening right now, she's take you to more movies like that.
No. First of all, you can't even call what I saw on that screen a movie. No, that's not. It doesn't deserve that title. And second of all, she wants to let everybody know that if you're planning on going to see this movie, you may as well spend the $18 that you're going to spend on tickets on just watching porn in the comfort of your own home. Because that's basically what you'll be doing, and you'll get to enjoy it a lot more. So... That was my weekend.
$18 on some toys.
Hold on.
Yeah, controllers, toys.
Yeah. I was gonna say because the fire department, and the police have actually made requests because of 50 Shades of Grey that if you're going to get into the whole BDSM world, is to be careful because apparently there has been a large influx of 911 calls due to
That's awesome.
things.
911, what's your emergency? I tried playing with a butt plug and it didn't end well.
I'm just gonna leave it on that note. So, Doc, how was your week?
Apparently, Valentine's Day happened.
Did it?
Oh, now I feel bad.
I don't. I was scrubbing toilets on Valentine's Day, so fuck
It'd
it.
be professional for me to mute my phone.
If you were able to scrub toilets for Valentine's Day, I'm pretty sure your girlfriend really appreciated that. Appreciated it instead of like, oh, so sweet. No, my week was mostly work related. I didn't get a chance to play a whole lot, unfortunately. But Saturday, instead of going out, socializing, meeting new people, and throwing rocks and shoes and paper wads at couples, I decided to help a friend move. And I'm really sore from that still. Because apparently, when you have 10 years worth of comic books, everything weighs like 1,000,000 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Why is paper so heavy?
I don't know.
A digital age. Sam, I know you listen to the show occasionally. We're in a digital age. Get yourself a goddamn e-reader. Anyway, that was my week this week. So this is going to be kind of a light show. We already realized most of Drop 4 happened, and there's nothing really going on yet with speculation for Drop 5. So we're just going to go at a nice, relaxed pace. We're going to enjoy ourselves this week and really kind of enjoy some of the community stuff that happened. And there's a couple awesome, cool things that happened this week. So first and foremost, from the Strange Tales this week! First off, Issue 5 of the Wildstar Community Magazine is out. So if you have not had a chance to read it, or if you've never heard of the Community Magazine, there are a bunch of really dedicated folks that are kind of like us. They just like the game a lot, and they want to contribute somehow to the community. And they want to inform people that you may have missed in, say, Reddit or forums, or take a new spin on something. And this month's issue really is talking about economy and trade skill add-ons. They actually got to interview the developers for Kurona and Potato UI. It's some really, really cool stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, the UI interviews are really, really cool, especially considering that Kurona and Potato are two of the most used frames, add-ons in the game.
Outside Potato's like synonymous with add-ons at this point.
Yeah, they're pretty much the standards right now, and they're just kind of they got into their heads and they wrote down some cool notes, and as always, they put out a really quality, top-notch product. Have you guys had a chance to read it yet?
No, I have not. I didn't even realize it was out yet. And I should have, because I watched 0 to 50 and they announced it. I don't know why I didn't read it. I feel like an idiot.
Horrible person.
Did you?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I actually read most of it. I didn't get a chance to finish it before the show started because I just kind of had a busy week this week. But as always, if you get a chance to check it out, enjoy that. And it's beyond Wildstar. They do a whole bunch of other community magazines, but we specifically wanted to highlight the Wildstar Community Magazine. Mm-hmm. Speaking of 0 to 50, he's finally freaking level 20.
Woo!
Thank you. Tony, you're level 20. Let's do a dungeon live stream, please. For the love of all that is good and holy. Please. I just want to see what happens.
I will say this. There was two really funny parts of the live stream, the 0 to 50. I'm sorry, three. One, there was some sort of sound issue, and so everyone started tweeting me and messaging me and Facebooking me. It was absurd.
I may have started the.
Yeah.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'm sitting there working. All of a sudden my phone's going off, and I'm like, oh my god! And I hop in. I'm like, it sounds fine. They're like, all right, we just need to restart. I was like, all right. I'm going to sit here for a little while and watch, I guess. So I watched. That was the first funny part. The second funny part is, and I'm going to say this because I know it's going to annoy Moose, but every 30 seconds on that live stream was, oh my god, Moose, you're so awesome. Just coming in here and wrecking face. Oh, you're so great, Moose.
Wait, what?
So Moose was in there, and he was helping Tony out, and every 30 seconds, like, Tony would just talk about Moose and how great he was, and Moose was just over there, and like he'd come over and go whack and kill things instantly, and so Tony was like, oh my god, you're so wonderful, and like swoothing over him. And then the final funny part is, I can't remember what he did, but it was like he went into an instanced area and none of the group could go with him. So I don't think Tony's played any of the games solo whatsoever. So he went into this instance area and they went, all right, Tony, we're all going to be out here. And he goes, what? Like he legitimately was just like, oh,
need you.
But
shit.
But I have to do it by myself. And so... So that was really funny.
That's awesome.
I still would have loved to see, along with the chat had said too, I would have loved to see at least 5-10 minutes of Sunshine and Tony's pantomiming everything. And I tried to get a 50 Shades of Ray hashtag going there, but didn't quite catch on.
Oh, why not? That's awesome.
Well, I thought it was funny. Hashtag 50 Shades of Ray. It was great though. It was a pretty fun show to listen to and watch. That coffee's kicking in, man.
Crap.
Pacing myself here. It's a nice, relaxed show we're having this week, ladies and gentlemen. Not like last week. Last week was... I actually got a chance to listen to that. I feel so embarrassed. I'm sorry. It was bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. People...
Speaking of live streams, though, this weekend, in fact, it's not even done yet as we're recording. It's just about done for this week. There was a group of 5 players that said, you know what? Everyone's doing streams, everyone's starting to do more Let's Plays, everyone's starting to do that, and they have the 0 to 50. They figured we can do that too. In fact, we're going to do a failure to 50 stream. They're legitimately going to start on Friday night, which was the 13th of February. And we're just going to grind, and we're going to see if we can get to level 50 before the end of the weekend. And if it was before Drop 4, it would have been a really interesting challenge. It was still really cool to watch. I caught snippets of it over the weekend, and they were just going balls to the wall. There are times there's just no talking at all, and they're just grinding the crap out of everything. And maybe an hour or two before this show went live, 2:02 p.m. Pacific, they all 5 hit level 50. In
Wow.
48 hours. You now have no excuse, Kareem or Croog.
I have an excuse, and that excuse is, shut up, Doc. Seriously, poopy face or something.
Well, hold on. This is the great thing is Tony just hit 20. Krug's still at 30. What happens when Tony surpasses Krug?
That'll never happen. That'll never happen.
Oh my God!
Unless, okay, hold on. Some stipulations to that. He can't use dev hacks. No dev hacks allowed.
No, he's doing it all mono.
Okay.
No add-ons,
I understand
nothing.
that's the intention, but if he doesn't count. It's never gonna. happen.
He's still waiting on that movie review.
Oh, yeah.
What movie it was?
No, it was
Alien.
Alien.
It was Alien.
It's Predator.
Alien.
Predator because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See, you don't even remember. I'm ashamed of you.
Horrible.
I don't.
God, you're horrible.
I don't. I didn't watch the movie before that podcast for a reason. Just saying.
I don't know where we left off, so I'm just going to simply go back just a few seconds to what I can remember. And I was going to actually give individual props to these guys because they spent the last 48 hours just hauling ass through this game. And they had the loadout they had an engineer tank, who was Anver Shan, a medic healer, Sogol, a spell slinger, which by the name of Dill Dwarfson, and Esper by Super Noodles.
I'm sorry. What was his name?
Dill Dwarfson. And then a warrior DPS by the name of Nox Vomica.
Dill Dwarfson.
Yeah. Are we done pretending we're 5 years old?
No.
He's a Dill.
Dill Dwarfson. I love that name. Anyways.
What if that's his real name? You're making him
God,
cry
I
right
hope
now.
You're making fun of that guy now. Oh my God, you're such a bully.
I'll pay him $50 if that's his real name. I'll legitimately send him $50.
It's on stream.
I will legitimately send him $50 if that's his real name. As an
Oh my
apology for
God!
laughing
Now
at
we
his
have
name.
to. Dill, please. Someone get
Dill.
failure to 50 live stream. We have to
Dill.
confirm this.
He has to send me a photo of his ID or something. I'm not just gonna take his fucking word for it.
Congratulations, gentlemen. That was really cool to watch you guys just blast through that content. And once again, we're a community stream. We're a community podcast. We like to really give out that recognition where it's due. And I think that was genuinely worth it. Whatever happened to our idea to do some of these streams? Are we just too busy?
What to?
Busy.
I mean, I know we had the hardcore mode.
That didn't last long.
That didn't last long because I died the first
We
episode.
technically did that stream in its entirety already, so
Yeah.
And then it didn't help that like a week after we started hardcore mode, they did the mega servers, which kind of negated the whole hardcore idea.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of different stuff to it. I mean, I'm still pushing for STOS Live to take the place of the Nexus report. That's just my idea.
I think that'd be great.
I'm just saying.
God, no, the last thing I need is someone behind a screen at my house shooting a Nerf gun to the back of the head. Because that's just gonna happen every show. Just freaking sunshine in the back of my head, just a Nerf shotgun. Say it. Say it. Say it.
What's the strangest house from outer space?
I'm just saying. I think we've got 3 personalities. I think it'd be great. Since everyone's been clamoring for it. I'm just saying. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Send more emails.
So let's move on here. So there actually is a bit of Carbine news, not just community news. And everyone has seen this online over the week. If you haven't yet, they have finally given and unlocked 10-day free trials for every new account to the game. Now, if you already have an established account, no, it's just not going to work. I mean, if you stop paying your monthly, you're not going to get 10 days. It's like, hey, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's specifically for new players. Now, there's obviously some caveats to it. Obviously, you have to have an active account for one. And once you do that, you create your account and go to account management. So tell your friends, just go to account management. Normally where you put in your time code or your payment, it'll just have a giant gold option. Just, boom, start 10-day free trial. Obviously, any characters you make are saved, so you don't lose progress, and you just start right back up if you want to start it up. And then the restrictions are simply, you can only have 3 characters per realm. You can only get to level 20 or path level 12. You can only get to tier 1 crafting. Only a 50 gold or a 5k renown cap. No prestige. Apparently you don't get any... Sorry, you don't get any prestige throughout your time. You can't be in a guild. You can't create a circle, but you can join one, so it can help out with leveling. Obviously, can't trade, can't do mail, can't go into the commodity exchange, can't have roommates. You can only talk, like, say, yell, and party, and then you can only read and no cred. So it's your pretty standard introductory phase, like World of Warcraft.
They took away advice. You can't go into the advice chat.
Is advice still around?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's rarely used, at least nowadays. Everyone kind of talks in zone or say.
I see advice every once in a while still. I mean, not nearly as much as I have in the past, but I would still say it still exists.
Yeah,
I have a couple questions about it. What was it that you can't get? It was...
no prestige.
No prestige.
They didn't say anything about prestige, so the assumption is no prestige.
So that's weird. I wonder...
Which... Some people have said we're really PvP-oriented podcast, but only because it's been a really relevant topic lately. And just because a lot of the player base wants to keep talking about it, so we keep bringing it up. It's just very odd that you don't get any prestige apparently for this, and you're able to get into Battlegrounds as low as level 6. That's a nice teaser if you can get into it. So, and then obviously by the time you get to level 20, you'll have access to your house. You just can't have housemates. I should reiterate that. You can't have roommates, and you can't invite people to be your roommate, and you cannot be a roommate, yet you can still have a house.
You can still have neighbors, right?
No.
Still visit plots?
Nope.
No?
Luckily with Drop 4, you're able to go individually to people's houses.
Oh,
There's
sure,
no stopping
sure.
you there. You just can't add people to be roommates and add them to be your... You can add them to be your friend, but it's not going to really help.
That makes sense.
What do you guys
think? As long as
of
you can visit people.
Interesting.
We've been talking about this for a long time. The whole they need to start doing free trial stuff for people, and the fact that this exists now is really good. I think this is a step in the right direction.
And they were really smart about not allowing cred, because that would have been hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
because that's what all it would have done is like people would have gone in there, turned around and farmed like crazy just to get cred in those 10 days.
Well, I mean, the level cap
What wouldn't
still
happen
would've-
anyway because the level cap or the gold cap's 50.
Oh,
once
well, yeah.
someone is purposely tanking the cred market, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of it.
It's like burn.
Yeah.
So there's that. I don't know how I quite feel about it being a 10-day trial. I don't know.
I'd rather it be.
There's a lot of games, and it's not just obviously World of Warcraft, that give a more unlimited free trial. In 10 days, it's basically about a week's worth of playing time. And if you're a really casual person and just stepping into the game, having 10 days in a ticking time clock, not always the greatest, especially when they say, oh, you can make 3 characters and get to level 20. Even if you're tight on time, you're really not going to get 3 characters level 20. You aren't really going to be able to experience...
Well, I don't think the 3 characters to level 20 was the idea. I think it was just 2 weekends of playing.
Yeah.
That was
Fair enough.
their goal.
I
Yeah.
guess
I can
see
start
that.
on a Friday, end on that Sunday, and that's your 10 days.
Yeah.
End on the next Sunday, and that's
Yeah.
your 10 days.
And that makes more sense. I mean, I don't really... I get this. It's basically a 2 weekends, like Croog said.
If you start on a Friday.
If you start on a Friday, which is, I'm pretty sure, the majority of the time in which people will be
it's pretty
starting.
logical.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious. I think this is a good idea. I mean, the only negative thing I could possibly see is, nope. I like it. Let's do it.
I mean, we
I
can
was
nitpick
a little
the shit
concerned
out
about
of something like this, but the bottom line is they needed to do some kind of free trial thing for people, and this is as good of an implementation as we could have expected. Like, sure, you can nitpick it, obviously, but I don't think we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and then
it's good
also
stuff.
because of the new changes in Drop 4, I mean, level 6 you have access to PvP Battlegrounds, if you can get a queue. At level 6 you have access to Fragment 0, so your first taste of ship hands. By level 10 you have access to Proto Games, your first dungeon. And by 14 you have your house. You're able to experience quite a bit of the introductory part of the game before you actually hit your 10-day cap. I legitimately was just trying to nitpick and see maybe I'm just overthinking it.
That may have been why they waited to release this until the level 10 dungeon came out.
Oh yeah, because everyone was clamoring before it. See, look at that. They're smart. They're smart.
It's
Choices
they-
were made that were
running the
good.
game.
Huh. Yeah, it's like they actually care about the game and that
It's
they
like-
want it to succeed and that they know more information than we do.
The developers whose livelihoods rely on the game that they produce actually want it to succeed?
I'm going to stand back a little bit because apparently my whole face takes up most of my little viewing screen.
Yes.
It looks really
Thanks
funny.
for warning me about this.
Oh,
It's looked like that every time. It's like the old like oh wait, it's because you have a stupid laptop and you're like, I'm gonna be a laptop user.
I have a legitimate camera on my laptop. That's the giant fucking head.
Yeah, it's true. You
That's
also have
really what it is. I have a ginormous goddamn head.
Your head is enormous. And yet no brain, not a single brain to be found in all that space. Such a waste.
Anyways.
And then, well, if we're going back to seeing what Carbine does best, listening and implementing, they are actually looking for feedback on their capital cities.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Everyone has something to say about Illium and Thayd, whether it's positive, negative, constructive, or deconstructive. Finally, KDM has taken it upon herself a few weeks ago and mentioned it on the podcast, but I didn't put the link in because I forgot about it. I'm sorry, KDM.
Good job.
Yeah, that's what I do. She basically said, hey guys, we want to talk about the capital cities with you because we realize there are some issues with, say, pathing or how big it is. Maybe it's just too much space or too little going on. What do you guys think about it? And I kind of want to get into this discussion with you guys, and I know some of you have some very passionate ideas about the capital cities.
Yeah, Croog, why are you so passionate about it?
Before we get into the conversation, I want to lay out the 4 pieces of information that she specifically was looking for.
Go
and
for
that
it.
was accessibility of services. What is your ideal distribution of the various services you use? Flow. How do you move through the city to get to various things you need? Performance. Are there any places in our current cities that lower the game's performance? Space. How much space that isn't immediately occupied by services do you prefer? So I figure we could just go down the list of these and talk about them and kind of give our opinions.
So it's
I think
not a
this is,
bitch fest, right?
I mean, if Indigo gets to talk, we might have to like.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
No. There's a difference. He has complaints, but he's not bitching about it. He has
No.
legitimate complaints about what he doesn't like about these cities.
Okay,
We'll see what happens.
Croog, mention the first thing. We'll go in a circle. We'll go to the second thing and move from there. How's that sound?
All right, accessibility of services. What is your ideal distribution of various services you use? So, if I could just go first on this
Yeah.
one, just for funsies. I don't care very much about the form of the cities. I'm just gonna throw that out there as my general idea of how things work. Like if the cities were literally just a menu that opened on your screen, you couldn't walk around them and you can just click through all the things that the city could do, I would love that because that would be so much easier for me. Like if I could go from crafting to auction house with just the click of a tab, that would be way better. Not realistic. I don't think they're going to implement that because that destroys kind of the flow of the game as a whole. But I would love it. That's my
So theoretically, what you're
You just
saying?
want to play spreadsheets
yeah.
game?
No. What you're saying is
realistically, my idea would be as close together as possible, as little unused space, and just every vendor and every like auction house guild guy and all these other.
It's not even like a city anymore. It's just a quest hub for you.
Yes.
Clo-
I
Clo-
don't want to walk around the capital city. I don't care. And
Clover has the best response. He goes, "My immersion. Why?"
why do you do this? I didn't do it. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
so-
make me as my crazy self happy.
All right, Doc. Why don't you go next?
Why would you get rid of the cities? Seriously. Okay, look, here's the thing.
You can have a vast area of like pretty things and like other stuff that you don't need, but all the things you need should be right the fuck there.
So I've spent more time in Illium than Thayd. So that's the thing. If we're going to go with accessibility of services, they've done really well at spacing the game out. At least in Illium, I don't feel like it's successful in Thayd. I feel like, hey, you've got this one hub over here where it's all major crafting and housing, and then you've got the upper echelon where the church is, where you have mostly all of your renowned stuff. You have the PvP hub where everyone can kind of hang out and duel each other. They're not super far away from each other, but the problem is there's just so much blank space, I feel, that could be really utilized better. But once you get to the services, it's almost everything you need. Obviously, you're going to have one area that has heavily focused on one aspect of the city immersion, and I'm okay with that. It just feels like everything's a little too far away, especially in Thayd, where everything kind of feels like it happens in the upper right-hand corner, and that's it.
Perfect.
Unless you have to go down to the bank, which is all the way the fuck down in the lower right-hand corner.
Unperfect.
Thayd feels much more lopsided to me than Illium does. Indigo?
So from popular belief, I actually have issues with both Illium and Thayd. So Illium, what I do like about it is I like that crafting is centralized almost, and then you go to the right and the auction house and PvP are together, and then to the far left is your teleporters to all your different areas. I feel that it is much more like evenly spread of what happens in those areas, but logically it doesn't make any sense. Why would you have a crafting vendor in the center and then not have your auction house somewhere close by as well? Like, to me, that doesn't make as much sense, because you're not going to be doing PvP stuff and then going to the auction house. You know what I mean? You're going to be crafting stuff and then going to the auction house to buy stuff for crafting, or to put the things that you've crafted out there. Now that I've said that about Illium and why I don't like that, the problem I have with both is that there aren't enough rune crafting stations. Like, there's one in each, and I don't get that.
That's true, actually. I have only really seen one. There's tons while you're out there leveling now. But...
Isn't there 2 in Illium now? At least?
Where?
Are they
it's been a
mirrored?
while.
Because you know how there's the crafting building? I've been to Illium in a while.
No. There's only just the one to my knowledge. It's right
Really?
next to all the crafting stations, yeah.
Oh, I thought Drop 4 made it mirror, but I guess I could be wrong. That's fine. Okay.
I could be...
And I mean, those are like 100 yards apart anyway, so it's not like it's a huge difference.
The other thing is that something that Illium does that I think is that I really like is right outside the PvP vendor. There's that track that's sitting there, and that's where everyone in Illium messes around and duels each other.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's awesome. And I don't know if it's the type of players that are playing Dominion versus playing Exile, but I don't see that nearly as much in Thayd. Like,
well, during beta, I noticed that was kind of, you know, the little town square area right below the crafting area in Thayd? That kind of became that little running track from Illium. That was the Thayd version. In beta, that's what I noticed, at least. But now that I'm in Thayd again, and maybe it's because of the fact that this isn't a PvP server, this is a PvE server that we're on now, I haven't noticed any kind of, like, PvPing going on there. And also it gets a lot more crowded because that's also kind of the central hub for, like, that's just the middle of the town. So it's kind of where people are crossing through and stuff like that.
You got a guild bank there, you got everything
yeah,
there.
There's a bunch of stuff. And from the Illium side, that little racetrack area was just out of the way and empty. Just this secluded area for people to go and hang out. There were PvP vendors there, so it was almost like, okay, all the people that are going here are going to be PvP anyway. Let's give them a wide open area to test their gear out. That's what the logic felt like to me. And it was really great logic.
Now, I will say that I've noticed that they've been adding things to the capital cities. I mean, the fact that in Illium they've added, and I'm pretty sure in Thayd as well, they've added the new rooms and buildings and stuff like that. You can actually enter and see the heads of each race. I just feel that there is a large sections of Thayd that I've never gone into.
Now that ties into the next stuff, flow.
Okay. Go for it.
So flow would
start it off again, Kurona.
How do you move through the city to get various things you need? I think the number one trip that I make in any city, or really anywhere that any city that I'm doing location in, not just the main city, would be from crafting station to auction house and back. And in Thayd, those two things are like 50 yards apart, and in Illium, those two things are like
halfway across the map. 200
to 250 yards apart. And it's annoying as crap in Illium. And actually, at one point, I really wanted to change Croog the medic's path to Explorer, because you guys have that little beacon you can plop down and then like auto teleport back to where you plop the beacon. And I just wanted the ability to do that. And then after I started playing in Thayd, I'm like, oh wait, the auction house is just down this little ledge? Why can't it be like this in Illium? This is perfect.
Spreadsheet man, let's make it super easy for everyone.
It's easier.
Hey, I've already said this. I've already said this in the last time. It only makes sense to have the auction house near the fucking crafting zone. I mean,
unless it's like an intentional difficulty. I don't know why, but it could be intentional for some reason that I can't comprehend.
Now,
yeah, but why make it difficult for Illium and not for Thayd?
True. Now, personally,
because fuck the Dominion, I don't know. Dude, jeez.
Now, personally, my opinion of flow is different for the two different cities. I really like Illium's flow. It really feels like a natural circle. Even if you have to go around, it's still, you're leading from the left side of the map, going into the center. This is my opinion, though. Then you go up to the church if you want to get your renown stuff, and you go over to PvP, and then it's a long trek if you want to hit everything, but it's a natural progression. The city itself, when looking at the map or just the pathways, it's a mind's eye thing. It leads you over there. You kind of understand after a few trips. Once again, I think the flow in Thayd feels really top heavy. There's no real reason to go into the fields unless you've got your Sarah quests. There's no real reason to go check out the Alchemist Guild because it feels really oddly just lopsided and uneven to me, and I think something needs to be spread out there more. I personally have no problem actually making me run around and check out that stuff. Hit to go.
My issue with I agree with what you're saying about Illium and it having a circle and it being a little bit more evenly spread out. I do wish there were multiple locations for some things. I mean, we've got 3 crafting stations all right next to each other. What is the point of having 3 crafting stations right next to each other?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. Especially when you can get a crafting station in your house.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to even get congested if there's one. I can't see the reason for having 3. Anyways, I interrupted you.
So having 3 crafting stations in the same area, only 1 rune crafting station, that's... Oh.
Keep going.
Okay.
If you listening to podcast,
I forgot to turn off my tablet because I left it on.
Okay.
Oh,
that was hilarious.
Like
This is the BRB tornado. That's what his face said.
BRB cat on fire. Shit! I didn't still. Nope. It's still good. We're good. It's still good. I still have coffee left. It's tasty.
This is why we edit our podcasts.
Don't make me laugh. I'm trying to drink coffee. I don't
All
want
right.
to spill it on my laptop. I'm gonna go here and do it.
So
I don't trust you. I
So
don't trust you at all.
Hold on.
oh god, I don't even know how to deal with you people anymore. I think Kurona is gonna die. So Moose and Clover, if you want to know what I looked like last night, look at the screen where Kurona is. That's what I looked like last night. That's all I'm gonna say.
For those of you that weren't there, apparently there's a lot of Valentine's Day fun going on last night.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Good.
Anyways, so I don't understand the point of having 3 different crafting stations and 1 rune crafting station all in the same area. That confuses me. Maybe have it a little bit more spread out. Maybe have it in different locations so that you can craft based off your area. Something else that someone said, which is having more than 1 bind point in a town, so that if you are
Fantastic.
so that if you're more PvP, you can set your bind point next to the PvP crafting station or the PvP area, and if you're more PvE, you can go on the other side. I mean, that would be really helpful. As for Thayd, I feel like I don't go to the left side of a Thayd at all. It's like, and I feel that I get lost on a regular basis going through Thayd versus Illium. Illium, I'm going point A to point B to point C, back to point A to get my job done. And in Thayd, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go here. And yes, these two, point A and point B, are very close together. But point C is all the way the fuck across the map. And I have to go through garbage and all this other stuff. And it's a little bit aggravating, like, trying to get... And then, like I said, the whole left side of the map, I have no idea what's there or what it does. Because I'm literally just on the right side of the map. What were you saying, Croog?
Same. 100% same.
Yeah.
I've never gone to the left side of Thayd. I mean, I think I had to go over there to get a little hologram thing at the very beginning to get the trans map, but...
Which you don't have to do anymore, which is so awesome, by the way.
I know. That was such a shit quest.
Ugh.
Shit quest.
Oh wait, no, I thought you still had to do the transmat.
No.
Points.
No. You get on a little motorcycle and you get a tour of the town.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that like the day before Drop 4 showed up. It reminded me of going to Shathrath for the first time and going,
Don't know what that means.
why can't I auto-follow you, Khadgar?
The Shatrath was in
Shatrath?
Yes, it's
Is that the name?
Shathrath.
Shatrath?
No, Shathrath. Remember, they have a little bit of World of Warcraft, Draenei. It's Shathrath.
Yeah.
Go with it.
So
Not Shatrath.
you literally, or as everyone so commonly called it, Shat. When you were in, when you're in
Shat?
when you're in Shat, you had to when you first got into the town, you had to take a tour, but you had to follow this one guy. And you know how for some reason every game follows the same ploy that all NPCs walk slower than your character. So And so you would have to follow this guy all the way around Shat, just everywhere, and you're just like,
This is my face when I'm doing it. Just go, for the love of Christ,
Yeah.
just move.
thank God Wildstar got with it, and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna put you on a motorcycle, and then we're gonna tell you what is going on. So players that have done it before, like me, can just get up and walk the fuck away.
And get us in.
New players are sitting there going, I'm totally lost, which that helps with flow. Now, let's move on to performance. 'Cause that's a big-
Performance. Are there any places in our current cities that lower the game's performance? This whole time I've been... You're a dork, dude. That didn't look like you were drinking a can of iced tea. I've been racking my brain this whole time trying to think of a place in either city that I've kind of noticed performance degradation, and I can't.
But this is where things get a little different, because a lot of the three of us have pretty decent machines to play the game. Now,
Yes.
they're not top of the line. Technically speaking, I think mine might be the most top of the line out of the three of us now. But before... Hey,
Sorry.
I can... Okay, look. I walked into Thayd before I got my new laptop, and I could not really move from that crafting mob. Go for it.
Is your monitor attached to the part of the computer that houses the motherboard? Is that a thing? Excuse me, sir, can you please answer with a yes or no? Holding up two middle fingers is not a yes or a no. Please answer with a yes or no.
I have a pretty decent laptop.
Oh,
Yes, I have a laptop.
you said the word.
Twice.
My computer wins, thank you.
But we haven't had that issue. Performance-wise, for the three of us, it's never really been a big deal. I mean, how many times have you dipped below 40 with that giant mob of people in Thayd?
I'll tell you, I did have some weird performance issues in Illium on between drop 2 and 3. I was having some performance issues, but I haven't had any performance issues.
You have an AMD graphics card, right?
I have a new graphics card. I fixed a couple things with my computer. There was it was some really weird pockets though. It wasn't necessarily because there was a massive amount of people, but it was right over by the crafting area, like right when you in Illium, right when you turn the corner to see the 3 buildings, like every fucking time it was just like, and we're good. All right. I was like,
I don't think they're looking for information that old though. I think they're probably
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
drop 4.
Drop 4, I got nothing.
Yeah, they've done a really good job optimizing a lot of different systems to play this game decently, and I think that's more for people with with PCs that aren't as more recent. Like I said, my last rig could not really handle it. If there's more than 30 people in an area, it started to dip in. Yes, we understand already. I have
Hold
a
on.
laptop.
I know we've gone through all 4 of the points, right?
No.
No, we have one more.
Okay, go for it. Because I also have a suggestion at the end.
Boom.
So, and we've actually kind of already touched on this one, but it's space. How much space isn't immediately occupied? Oh, whoa. I just had a dyslexia moment. How much space that isn't immediately occupied by services do you prefer? So basically, how much empty space do you like?
I'm going to start this one because
Okay.
I think that, like I said, I think there's too much space. There's not enough going on that encourages you to go exploring. Obviously, the locales are pretty, the vistas are pretty. If you like the more structured look of Illium and the Dominion, it's a really gorgeous looking place. It's clean. It feels very Romanesque, like Space Rome. I've always said that about Dominion. They have a very big Space Rome vibe to them. Thayd has their great aesthetic of just kind of salvaging and managing their survivors. But there's no incentive to fuck with people.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to go in there and raid through Illium or Thayd. Give me spaces where it's tense, like treat it like a giant open world dungeon. You want to get more people active in between the different cities. Give them a reason to want to go. That's my biggest thing with the spaces. If you decrease the space of both cities by maybe a drastic amount, 10 to 15%, it's far enough where they still have to run around the city and enjoy it. But it's not so far enough where you're like, why is the ride from the Alchemist Guild over to the museum ship where Walker is, or is it Walker? No, not Walker. The other
Texas Ranger.
the other artifact hunter. I forgot his name. Dorian Walker, right? I think that's his name.
What's that? What
He brought the stick out. He brought the stick out.
I will send you to the Happy Hut.
there's just so much negative space, and you can always throw stuff in there in the future, and they have started to do a little bit. But I feel like it's just there, and it doesn't matter if we had 3 million people playing this game, 4 million, 5 million, or we have less than 50 or 500,000. It just seems like it's just too big for its own good, personally.
Croog, I want you to go next because mine's going to be a little bit more intensive.
Copy that. Mine's going to be really short. As I said during accessibility of services, I don't think there should be any empty space. I think everything should have a service in it, and they should all be as close together as possible so that I can get my shit done quickly. I'm just going to throw this out there. Hold on. I'm just going to throw this out there. What do you do in a city? You craft, you trade, you sell stuff, you manage your guild, like all this bureaucratic stuff, manage circles, you do all this other stuff. Maybe you test your builds out in little dummies, and that's like the most exciting things get. You could just put all that literally in one window, and then you wouldn't have to waste your time doing all these little number game stuff. You can get out into the actual world and play the actual fucking game with your fucking mouse.
Okay, say you're sitting there in your spreadsheet world, numbers, and you're just going, Excel, I love you so much. Oh, it's so gorgeous and simplified. There's a raid happening. There's 42 of us sitting there, guns a-blazing, going through, trying to kill Dorian Walker. How is it? Awesome.
Okay, here. The only thing that I appreciate a well planned out and vast city for would be for city raids. But I've only seen that happen a single time with any respectable amount of players, and it wasn't fun. It was just like they hopped in through this little glitchy part of the wall, so they were like on top of everybody. They landed and spread out and just ganked the entire top floor of Illium, like above where the auction house was, and then we all res and we were like, let's go gank them back, and then we all ran and ganked them back, and that was the end, and they never came back, and we were just like, well, okay, that was fun.
But if you gave them an incentive, if you gave them a massive incentive, like other games do when they're talking about capital cities, to go in there and raise hell, and you made the city a little smaller to compensate for that, like you have objectives to go into that
harder
city.
To access.
Yes.
Like, there shouldn't just be like, oh, if you jump onto this tree, you can, like, double backflip and then move an ability into the city.
Hold on. Illium is actually extremely difficult to get into.
It is.
They were...
No,
They were
talking
Warpath city.
Warpath was a guild of just fucking monsters. So they can walk into
It should be impossible. It should be... by game mechanics impossible. You should not be able to jump over the wall and like fucking Spider-Man crawl across.
That sounds like
onto people.
That sounds like a glitch and not necessarily something that is legitimately an issue. Like that sounds like a problem.
If you legitimately able to get someone who was persistent and skilled enough to get over the bridge, like you're fucking ninja infiltrating, and have them like drop a beacon or have them summon their group in. Oh my god, how awesome would that be? If they question, okay, not a big deal. But if you just imagine that you had like a stalker scientist or a warrior scientist who's able to leap and hop everywhere and like jump in like ninja, 5-10 feet somewhere, find a little pocket of safety, and summons everybody in. Boom, 40-man instant raid. We're going after the lore leaders. Holy shit! Now we're on high alert. That's awesome.
I'll tell you this: when I used to play WoW, there was a way into Orgrimmar where you could actually glitch in, and like you would fly in, and you'd run across a wall, and you would like basically run into a wall, and you would actually like get spatially shifted into a room that was a square box inside of Orgrimmar that had candles in it, and one of the names of the developers that had passed away was in this room. And it gave you had access into Orgrimmar, which is the Horde side main capital. Players would mash into that room and then just like drop in and just fucking wreck shit.
And how awesome is that?
It was great.
Right?
Okay, so now that Croog is gone, I'm gonna say this.
I'm here still, so
I didn't say destroy all Kroogs. I just said since you're finished talking about your part, yes?
you said gone. But anyways, as you were.
Destroy all Kroogs. Hashtag. Anyways, so no, my statement is going to be this. I don't think it needs to be any smaller than it needs to be. What I do think they need to do is have more quests and more daily quests within the city that gets you to move around the city and gets you to different parts and places in the city. There are 0 legitimate quests in the game in the city. There is a challenge in Thayd where you pick up trash. And by the way, with the amount of trash that I've picked up from Thayd, that place should look way fucking cleaner than it actually is. I get that it's a post-apocalyptic like bomb shelter, but really there's just piles of shit everywhere. It's just fucking and the other quest is, hey, go to take this tour of the place. Like that's and there's a race, I believe. There's also a race. Why aren't there more quests within the city? Like, hey, there's a spot in the wall that has a hole in it, and there are creatures coming through it. Go over there and destroy them. Like, I think we're losing the opportunity by making the area smaller. That we're losing the opportunity to have more quests and having quests within the city.
There is an option to that. Some of the settler quests do give you a little little minor quests if you get the whole settler shop erected. But yeah, I mean, Thayd right there has a nice story hint there. It's an old Osen stronghold. If you had Osen coming in to try and reclaim it, that happens like once in a while. It's a public quest to come in there. Mm-hmm. You have to like help barricade or help on the offense or help propel them back. That would be fun. And Illium, having Yadaridu nearby, you could have the Falcon coming in, or you could have sneak attacks from like a rogue splinter cell or something. There's fun. That would be really, really cool. Giving players something to do while they're waiting for whatever reason.
Well, I'm just saying, giving people reason to be in capital cities would be good too, because I mean, we have we get bonus XP if we log out at our house. We can get any of the necessary things that we have to have in the city in our houses currently. So what exactly gives us the motivation to actually go to Illium or go to Thayd? And that's to purchase shit for PvP or go to the auction house. But past that, get me the fuck out of there. I don't want to be there. There's nothing there for me to do.
Hence window.
Window? What?
Yeah, just one window.
Spreadsheet man.
My spreadsheet.
No, what I'm saying...
Spreadsheet man and his arch nemesis, Immersion Boy. Or no. Immersion Lass. Gotta make it fair.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just saying Immersion Lass is the good character and Spreadsheet Boy is the bad guy. Just throwing that one out there.
I am Spreadsheet Boy.
But I'm just saying, like, having
he's a sidekick in his own story.
Having additional quests and having additional things to do in Thayd would definitely benefit the size that it currently is, the space that it is, and allows them to add to the story. Because I think the reason why Thayd and Illium are so large is because with drops, I think they want to continue adding new areas and new things to the capital cities like they have in the past. So by shrinking it down, we're going to possibly lose that option of adding this content to these areas. So let's throw in some fucking fun little like dailies and shit like that in there, and give me a reason to hang out in Thayd instead of hanging out at my house.
Yeah, and I think the cities are really bigger now, and eventually they're going to start adding more content, like we had seen having like the Kurzak's room and Mondo's room in Illium. I think they're slowly introducing stuff like that, and it's great because those could be really. If you keep the size the way they are, you can even introduce temporary hubs that happen in between the bustling static hubs, like say for HOLIDAYS. Just saying.
Spelled holidays indigo.
Oh, see, I don't know how to read.
Okay. Pretty object, shiny thing, loot whore. Look at me, I'm a special snowflake.
Ooh, holidays.
There we go.
I know that the way that their system, I wonder if that's going to take effect. Okay, so hold on. I know we're talking a lot about this one topic, but
it's a pretty important topic because the cities seem to be in desperate need of some discussion.
So if they do make changes to the city, let's just say that all in all, everyone agrees that it's way too big and it needs to be smaller. It gets smaller. What happens when we have a holiday event where they flat out said, hey, it's not as simple as throwing up some snowflakes up in the air or up on on things. They have to legitimately redesign and replace things because of the plug system that they use. how is that going to affect holidays? And if that is the case, does that mean we're going to see a push on holidays if they change the capital cities?
I feel like you're stretching really far in order to get us to say, no, you get your holidays, Indigo.
I no, this is a legitimate statement. Like, it's not that I want them to say, oh, you're going to get them. I want to say, hey, if this is
What are we
going
gonna do with them?
Yeah, if this is
If revamping the capital cities is going to hurt my holidays, don't touch the fucking capital cities. Is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't see. Okay, so if I were to speculate as to how the system works, like, so they have like slots in the cities for models, and you put the models there, and some of the models are interactive. Like the model for the auction house is just the auction house thing with 2 interactable things. And I imagine if they were just making the city smaller, they'd just take away some of the plugs and like reposition the plugs and then redesign the models to fit together in their new locations. So for example, if they make the wall skinnier, they have to make a new texture for that wall. So they have to redesign the model to have a texture that fits that new size of wall. That's all I couldn't imagine that affecting holidays.
Well, but this is what I'm going to say, though, is that doesn't seem like a lot, but a lot of things that we view as should not take
Simple.
very long or is very simple.
Anything but that.
And making that wall thinner can turn around and affect 15 other things that don't have anything to do with the capital cities.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a possibility.
True. Now we're gonna we got about 5 or 6 minutes left of this podcast. We have a little bit of an event afterwards that we might not have an after show discussion. So just wanted to kind of bring this up because it's really cool. It's a quick little blurb. Avatus is down again, bitches. Boom. I was online trying to level my spell singer up, and I got this random block of text that's like, realm first, Avatus kill, realm first, Avatus kill, realm first. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I was exile side, and I'm sitting there going, yes, another Avatus kill. Turned out it was Codex, exile side on entity. That took down Avatus for the second time.
And there was 2. It wasn't just Codex.
You
There
sure?
were
I thought it was only 1.
No. I tweeted out to Tony, and Tony confirmed it. It was Enigma.
Oh, they're
Enigma got
exile
it
kill.
again.
Yeah, it was Enigma again, and Codex. So
And
so there was 2. That we have to state that because Enigma definitely dropped him first, and then Codex dropped second. I believe.
Wait, after the drop, Enigma dropped them again first?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't hear anything about that. Then again, don't get
Yeah.
the
Right.
yeah.
So when you
I haven't
messaged,
heard of that, but
when you messaged me, I sent a tweet out to Tony Ray, and I said, rumor has it that Avatus got dropped. He responded with, "Yep, it was Enigma."
Nice.
And then I
I
got
saw his name in there somewhere. I didn't realize it was
Damn.
Codex or Enigma.
yeah.
Cray, you cray, dude.
Yeah, entity side Dominion. You guys are actually no. Entity side Dominion would be Enigma. They were the ones that grabbed it, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have a Dominion and Exile side on both entity. I've not heard yet on EU. I don't think we have a lot of guilds that are closing in on it. In fact, ever since this drop, I'm watching more and more guilds post progress. Like that's how they're getting recruitment going. More and more guilds are getting people in, and the transition and change was definitely needed and warranted, and it was good. I mean, the fact that Enigma was able to take it down showed you that, hey, 40 man is doable. You know, quit your bitching and go for it.
Yeah, but
Obviously, not everybody can do it. And
Enigma's good.
I am a big hypocrite because I'm still trying to get into a guild to do it, but whatever. It's our podcast. I have the microphone, so if you don't like it... Look, okay, that's a little aside.
the audience.
No, well,
That should be
look,
what
here's
this show is called.
here's another little aside. You're welcome to disagree with someone who's taking a time out of their day to put out any content they want. You're welcome to, because they're not professionals. We are not professionals. We are simply really hardcore enthusiasts. But to sit there and insult somebody for simply having the courage to put out their views, whether or not you agree with them, and to berate them and insult them, is fucking stupid.
Where's this coming
Yeah,
from?
where the fuck is this?
There's a few content creators for not just this game, but other games I've seen.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my god, who is picking on you? Because I will beat the
Somebody-
fuck out of them.
Chat, I was like, did somebody say something rude? Like, what's happening?
It's not. I've not seen anything rude on us, and honestly, I don't give a shit if you say anything rude to me.
Okay.
Honestly, if
man.
if they insulted you two, I'm coming to your defense.
Whew,
And it's
you
not just
scared
in
the
Wild
fuck out of me,
community,
dude.
other stuff. It's just I've seen it enough coming lately to other content creators that it's like, look, go ahead, disagree with them. You don't ever have to disagree. You don't have to ever agree. But to belittle somebody and to insult them, regardless of their sex, gender, their time invested in this, they're just doing it to enjoy and spread their opinion on it and give you a little bit of enjoyment.
Yeah.
So
This moral note by
assholes,
Croog
I
and
guess.
Doc and Indigo.
but going back to the main guild stuff, because we're running a little out of time. We're seeing more and more guilds tackle more and more content. It's, oh my god, it's awesome. I can't wait to get in there myself. I'm itching.
I just remembered I would like to make one more statement.
Okay.
One more statement, and this is a direct opposite of what Doc said. So something big that happened this week that we didn't talk about, which was Q4 numbers for NCSoft came out.
I'm just gonna mute my mic right now.
You know what? We'll leave it on a cliffhanger because I want to talk a little more about that next week when we have.
Okay. Let's just say Indigo was furious.
Yes. Discussion going with that, and we are going to end the show a little early tonight. For those listening to the MP3, we actually will have a co-stream. We're actually going to be streaming with a gamer Dark Gamer. Sorry, he and his friend. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, man. You're both in chat right now. We're going to go and hop into Proto Games level 10, and we're going to do a little live stream. We're going to have a little commentary. So look for that online in the next few days. As for everybody into the live chat, after this, we're going to be hopping into stream. We won't be able to have our normal post-show discussion, so I do apologize. But Indigo, where can we find you?
You guys can all find me on Twitter at IndigoJonesQT. You can also find me on Facebook. I run the STOS Facebook as well as the Q Times Facebook. I also co-run, because I've got to tell Croog what the password is and everything, for the Q Times Twitter account. But seriously, guys, subscribe to the Facebook page. We try to put out as much content as we can out there. We give you up-to-date information on the website when it's going up, what's happening, all of that fun stuff. So please go over there. Hell, I'll even send you a link while someone else talks about their where they can be found.
That's probably me, because that's normally the order we go in. I am Croog, and you can find me on Twitter at strange_tales. You can also find me on Reddit at STOS_Croog, and you can email me at my QTimes email, which is Croog@QTimes.com. That's QUEUETIMES.com. QTimes.com.
And as for me, you can find me on Reddit as HoloMosh. I typically put the podcast up every Tuesday afternoon, roughly. And you can always find me on Twitter at DocQT. So as for this week, episode 32 is Strange Tales from Outer Space. I am Doc, and I have with me as always Indigo.
Hey!
And Croog.
Goodbye, friends.
I don't even know how...
Next time, you take care of yourself.
I don't even know how to deal with either of you right now. Just...
Good night, everybody!